Okay, what did I learn saving the forests? I learned a lot about life, even though I'm 14 years of age and I haven't yet learned to play the game yet. But I learned that forests are in some pretty serious trouble. Death by corn, I mean, how pathetic. And I learned that corn isn't everything, period. I'm not going to go into another one of them rants, but you know what I mean. People like new, interesting presentations. How many of you would rather me sit up here and go like, I learned so-and-so, and that's about it? Or how many of you would like me to have fun talking? See? It's hard to address an envelope. I got one $20 donation for the Forest Foundation. I have inherently large handwriting, so you can see that when I made my envelope, it took up like that much. And I'm like, I can't address an envelope to save my life. So yeah, I need to work on that. What did I learn about human nature? We don't like doing things. I set up my nature hike. Big old forest killing list right up on the wall. Not one sign up. I even had a pen hanging there. Someone had the nerve to rip it off. And probably, I don't know where that pen is to this day. That was my nice FCS pen. You know those nice Viridian ones we got? That was my nice FCS pen. We especially don't like doing them on weekends. I had a lot of people come up to me and say, oh, I'd love to go on your nature hike, but you know, I'm doing something this weekend, so I'm guessing that something was sitting at home with a Mountain Dew in one hand, remote in the other, lounging back on the couch and watching whatever it is they like to watch. Honest to goodness, I really didn't want to go on that nature hike either by the end. Some of you may have heard that. And finally, we like, but we don't respond well to humor. How many of you yesterday at that high school thing heard the guy and you were like, ha ha ha, ha, that's funny, I'm not going to do anything, ha ha ha. Answer honestly. Because I'm sure there were some people who were like, this is funny, I didn't get a thing out of it. Except for a good belly laugh. But no, a lot of people said, oh, good job, great presentation to me. They said they gave me nothing, and I'm fine with that, except for Mrs. Meyer, who donated to the organization. What did I learn about myself? Quite clearly not enough to convince people that 50 cents was a fair price to go for a nature hike. However, apparently I spoke well, which really don't know how well I spoke, but I'm sure you guys do. I advertised my cause fairly well, although some of you picked up that corn was stupid. And finally, I promoted my organization of the National Forest Foundation. But I sucked at it. Apparently, I wasn't advertising the right cause, because 90% of the people I talked to were like, corn is stupid. I like corn. I can't live in Iowa anymore. I'm not dissing corn. I like corn as much as the next guy. Corn on the cob, that's great. Corn in a can. There you go. Thanksgiving makes the day. But field corn is tearing down our forests. I don't like that. I do not like that. When my corn is going into corn syrup, in turn goes into my Big Mac, which I expect to be somewhat healthy. I'm not even going to get on this rant, because I know I'm not going to be able to get off it, but... And using the 5x5 rule. To this day, I don't know how to animate those little bullet points separately, because, you know, I went to St. Paul's, didn't grow up with an iPad, so, yeah. My iPod is a 2008 Shuffle, little rectangular guy. All in all, apparently I can speak. Good for me. Apparently I learned how not to raise some serious funds by using a nature hike. And I learned that research is important because, you know, I didn't really research it all that well. I'm just reading it, but it's going through one eye and out the other. I'm like, oh yeah, Forest Foundation. Yeah. But I've learned that humor interests people. You'll pay attention if the guy who's talking to you makes you laugh. And I sort of knew that, but not until people laughed at some of my cheap jokes during my presentation. And basically, if you're going to take one thing away from my Change the World project, which it's over now, but if you're going to take one thing away from it, enjoy speaking. And I'm going to show you my plan. It's kind of hard to follow, but it was originally a two-phase plan. You can't really follow that, but basically my first phase was to find my charity, find my audience, figure out something to do. Originally in my plan I was going to have a pop can drive, but I didn't really want to bring on Griggs Parade, so I planned from the beginning to have a really cool speech. So, because last year there was this guy, I don't want to name names, I don't even know him that well, but he was up there, he just droned. He was like, I didn't want to be like that, so I made a good speech. And I don't know if you all know that, but my speech was only a page long. It just had my information on it. I pretty much winged it up there. My phase 2 was taking action. I was originally going to have an obvious can box in front of the school, but yeah. I'm going to donate my money to the Forest Foundation. I've yet to do that because, I got to readdress my envelope. And never got to the point of sending out chaperones, which I think could have been my main problem for the forest hike. But, yeah, that's about it. Any questions?